I had a friend that was a cop, and he was a bad cop, though, my buddy. See what you guys think of this story. He pulls over a chick, right? Did you guys ever do this?
Oh, my God.
If you did, don't admit to it.
He was a cop for like 6 months by the, so he figured, he could do this.
He was experienced.
Yeah. Pulls over a chick. She's like clearly drunk, and she was kind of cute. And he says to her, "Let me ask you something, honey." That's how he talked.
It's already wrong.
That's how he talked. He goes, "What do you do for a living?" And she goes, "Like, I'm a secretary." "Yeah, where do you work?" And she goes, like, 10 miles from my house. And he goes, "Well, here's the fucking big choice." All right? Behind curtain number A.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. His friend is such an asshole.
Yeah,
okay,
well, he was. Behind curtain A is you walking to work for the next 6 months. Behind curtain B is you taking care of the kid.
Taking care of the kid?
Taking care of, and then he pointed to his dick.
And what curtain did she choose?
According to my buddy, she chose B.
Yeah.
And he got a blowjob.
Wow.
Is that bad behavior?
Is that wrong, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong?
You're pretty sure.
That's right. You're not supposed to do that.
No.
Yeah, Artie, you should tell that guy he's not supposed to do that.
Well, he ain't a cop no more.
Why is he not a cop? Like, how did they get wise to him?
What did he get caught doing?
He used to do, first of all, my buddy, I'm trying to get him to come in here because I think his only chance in life is to write a book of some sort.
Right.
And he's still crazy shy about it. He hasn't been a cop for 5 years, but what he was doing was, he was a middleman for a bookie while he was a cop, right? and I would call in bets, and clearly, like, he was a desk sergeant for a while, and clearly, like, I hear the fucking line is being bugged, like, beep, 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 and he goes, "Yeah, what do you want?" And I go, "What do you mean, what do I want? Shouldn't you call me back?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." And he had like a code we had to use, but the code could have been detected.
And he's doing this on the phone that the cops monitor.
Yeah.
For dirty cops.
Hey, Artie.
Well, call me cops monitor everything. A retard.
What is he, insane?
Well, and then he used to come on duty.
How are you friends with this guy?
I grew up with him.
Oh.
He's a nice guy.
On duty, he'd come to my house to pick up the money or to pay me.
Right.
And I would say a retarded fucking guy from internal affairs could arrest you, just follow you. And he would, like a 211 would be in progress. He would turn down the radio, like, hey.
Hey, Artie, can you tell the story about the trip that you guys took to Atlantic City when you got pulled over?
Oh, God.
Can you tell? Are you allowed to tell
Well,
that
this
one?
is the same kid. He had been a cop for like a week, right? And he had no money, so he borrows his sister's Chevy Chevette. It's like a Tuesday afternoon. He comes to my house 2 in the afternoon with $1,000 on it because we're going to Atlantic City. So I'm like, all right, I had $300 on me. I get the money, and we're driving down a New Jersey turnpike. I mean, we're not only drinking in the car, like, he's doing 95, and a Chevy Chevette at 95 starts to rattle like it's going to explode. And he's driving with one finger, and not only are we drinking, we're, like, mixing martinis.
Like party car.
Yeah, like out the window, like, all right, And he's like,
he was really bad cop.
And he loved it. He was like the Harvey Keitel.
Right.
And we were doing lines of blow off the dashboard. And,
oh, my God. Officers.
And we were doing all these lines and shit. And, like, we got pulled over, like, 80 times going to Atlantic City. And he said, "Hand me the badge, jerk off." And I was, like, trying to get the badge, and I gave him the badge, and the cop didn't even get to our car. Right. He just showed the badge and went, "I'm late." He goes, "I'm late for a pay job. Be careful." And then we would go.
Wow.
And I guess
it sounds to me, though, like after you going through the academy is tough work and stuff. I mean, to go through all that and then to just flagrantly flip it off.
I think he wanted to live this life on some level. Yeah. So we get down to Atlantic City. We lose within like 45 minutes. We lose everything, and he says, I'm too drunk to drive home. So we get a little motel. You know those outskirts of Atlantic City motels, and the get-up was awful. So he goes, "Lang, go upstairs and check into the room," because I had to take a shit. So I go upstairs, I take a shit in this fucking room, and it's like one of those cheesesteak Atlantic City shits. And I hear my buddy, the cop, come in the room. And he's talking to somebody. I'm like, who the fuck? What are we talking about? I walk out, and he's got this, like, 19-year-old mulatto whore
He does everything wrong.
Who was, I mean, he was like Harvey Keitel. And
they should have filmed this guy when he was a cop, and they could have shown that to you guys at the academy when you were going through training, and then said, this is everything you shouldn't do.
You had to see how hot this chick was. So he starts laughing. He goes, yeah, she's going to fucking blow you, man. I told her to blow you. I'm like, well, all right. I
just took a shit.
I mean, the room stinks. So this girl must have loved crack because she fucking just blew me like seconds after I shit. It was like,
wow.
So
that's got to be a treat for a gal.
It took me 4 seconds to come. She was so hot. So then my buddy, the cop, comes in and goes, all right, get out. It's my turn. So I got no money. I go out. It's like fucking like that March frost. I'm freezing. He's in the room for 2 hours. I hear the walls banging. I'm like, what is he, marrying this chick, you know? And
it's on a date.
She leaves like all disheveled and shit, and I walk in, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, shut up, asshole. I paid for the room. So it's 2 gross single beds next to each other, and I lay down and go to sleep finally, and a foot from me, I just hear like something like coming down a mirror. And he's giggling. He had like an evil laugh. He's like, and I look up, and on the window, on the mirror in between the 2 beds, he had thrown the used rubber. Oh. And it was stuck there like a White Castle pickle would stick.
What a buddy.
It slowly fell down the mirror, and then it just made a noise on the fucking
so they
dresser, and it got on my wallet. I threw my wallet out.
So they caught him pretty easily. I mean, they knew he was.
He was a cop for 12 years.
Oh, he was? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
He was in a bad area.
Oh.
Bad area. But he was a great guy to know during that time.
Did he quit, or did they finally find out?
No, he got fucked. They found coke in him. But he would set up hammocks on like they tell him to be like watch for the Second Story Men in the ghettos, and he would set up a hammock on the roof and play and fuck chicks and. He was like
tell the story about when you guys killed that whore and buried her in Jersey.
No, that never happened. But he was like my hero for a little while, and then he fucked himself.
Why was he a hero?
Oh, because he was so much fun.
He was above the law. He was Superman. That's all.
Yeah, he was a great.
He was the Rambo of the police department.
There's a little bit of a problem in your thinking.
Yeah. Oh, God, did he hate blacks.
Well, can you imagine? He's one of the bad ones, that's all.
That guy's out of control.
Out of control,
and then he got what he deserved.
And not to like black people. I mean, what kind of cop is going to do that?
I mean, how could you keep him as a friend?
Terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Why keep him as a friend? Because, he got great coke.
All right, well, that's a good reason then. All right, well, guys, enjoy watching the show. You're welcome to stay here. Thank you for serving our community. I'm a supporter and a big fan of what you guys do. Now, just be safe out there because there's a lot of lunatics. Most of them are Artie's friends.
And if you get, you guys, you deserve at least one blowjob from a drunk chick. I'll look the other way. Don't worry.
And your friend, he didn't like blacks, and I bet you he wasn't sensitive towards homosexuals either.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Gary. All right.